Well, Rip Hamilton and Kobe Bryant go way back. I mean, way back to when they were 16 years old,
Yes.
competed against each other AAU in high school.
Yes, I had a bald head there too, man. That's when I still could grow my hair.
And Kobe, of course, 31 points away from catching Michael Jordan, or actually passing him for third on the all-time list. So you know Kobe as well as anyone, and one of the few players to play with Kobe and against Kobe all these years. You remain close friends. So take me into the mind and game of Kobe Bryant. What is job one when you're facing the Mamba?
Well, first of all, he's a very special individual. The one thing that Kobe has is he's a very mentally tough, strong guy. You know, and this goes all the way back to when we were 16 years old, about to play an AAU game, and he's telling we're in a hotel room, and he's about to say, hey, you know what? I'm about to be the #1 player in the country, and the only person that's in my way is Tim Thomas. So it's kind of like the same thing with now the scoring thing that's going on with Michael Jordan. I know in his mind he's saying to himself, hey, you know what? The record's out there. I'm 31 points away, and it's my job to go ahead and go out there and get that record.
Well, tell me about the aggressiveness of Kobe Bryant, playing with that passion, that ferocity that he plays with.
Well, the one thing that I love about Kobe, and there's a few players in the league that do this, he plays north-south. So constantly in the game, he's going right for the middle of your chest, and he never takes any plays off. So regardless if he has the ball or he doesn't have the ball, he's going right at you. And the one thing that I love about him is he's fearless. So regardless, whoever you have out there, the reason why we were successful in Detroit, it wasn't just because what I was doing, but I had Rasheed and Ben Wallace behind me to protect the basket. But he's a very aggressive individual. And I'm going to bring a story, too, out there. He's so aggressive that actually when I was in Chicago, and it's funny that you say that because we were playing in the game, and every time we competed against each other, I'm fouling him and he's fouling me. So now we're a little older now, so I'm thinking going into the game, hey, you know, all the aggressive play, maybe it's calmed down a little bit. So we're actually in the game, and he's fouling me every play, and we're playing on Christmas at the Staples Center. So I'm going up the court, and I'm telling the ref, look, he's grabbing me, he's holding me, he can't run with me, so he got to grab me. So he comes up to me and says, hey, Rip, yeah, I fouled you, but you know what? I'm Kobe Bryant. They ain't going to foul me out on Christmas Day.
I love it. I love it. So tell me some of the things that you did versus Kobe that allowed you to be successful in playing against him.
Well, the one thing that I try to do is make him work on the defensive end. I try to run him around every screen as possible. You know, I try to get my medium range game going early in the game. And the one thing that he had great with him, he had the big fella in the back, Shaquille O'Neal. So the one thing he always tried to do is be over-aggressive with me on the perimeter and try to lead me into the big fella. So I always said to myself, I got to keep him moving. I got to tire him down because he's a well-conditioned athlete too. And on the defensive end, I just got to make it hard for him. I got to scratch him. I got to grab him. I got to trip him. I kind of got to be like Bruce Bowen, like how Bruce Bowen does the guys. I kind of got to do that on him because Kobe's a hard guy to kind of get out his game because he's so aggressive, but you got to like his fierce attitude.
And finally this, to see him perform at this level and look very much like himself at 36 and coming off the serious injuries, what does that say to you?
Well, the biggest thing for Kobe is, and I tell people that, when guys look at players, they say in their early in their career, they say, oh, this guy is great because he's so athletic. But the one thing that Kobe is great at, he's so athletic, but he's also fundamentally sound. A lot of kids are not fundamentally sound. So what he's able to do now is he knows the game. He's a student of the game. He knows that, all right, if I get to my spots on the floor, I can still get my shot off with the best of them. And that's enabled him to be successful at 36 years old.
All right, so that is taking you into the mind
Yeah.
of Kobe Bryant from a man who lived it.